Hello, our viewership. Here is Marcel, and with me, as always, Aspire.
Hey guys, welcome to Allegedly.
Allegedly, as always, but this time we would like to discuss the Epstein files. Aspire, have you heard what has happened in the last days in US?
Well, oh my God, it's just not really the bombshells that you would want or that many of us desire from the release of the Epstein files, and of course, it's rather to be expected. As much has been redacted and who knows, destroyed, kept in filing cabinets, or sealed away permanently in a base, who knows where, maybe stored in Fort Knox. But yeah, a lot has gone down, and really much deserving of public attention.
My question here is: have you wondered why these files, the half of these files, were released in this very time?
Yeah, I think maybe it's a safe time to release them. Maybe there's the precipitation of the conflict with Iran as a good distraction if any potential bombshells are discovered within the recent releases. We have the issue with Greenland, which is being cleaned up. We have also the establishment of the new Gaza Strip. So I think they're kind of floating. They're kind of flying high on their recent accomplishments, especially with the Board of Peace being established. Basically, the loss of power of the not United Nations. Is it the United Nations that's really lost its power to the Board of Peace? I can't recall. There's another.
United Nations
Yeah,
lost actually subventions and support from US lately. If you
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They. Okay. Yeah. It was the United Nations. Of course. Yeah. The United Nations lost funding thanks to Trump, and that's going to be put towards the new Board of Peace. And of course, to join the Board of Peace, every nation that pledged membership had to donate $1 billion. So a lot of money was made here, and on top of that, Trump has installed himself as a permanent president without having to ever be. He is the head. He is the CEO. He is the permanent president of the Board of Peace. So now this is his new organization. It belongs to him. Really, he's sitting right at the top. Many people wouldn't credit Trump with being the brains of an operation like this. I certainly still wouldn't. I think someone like much credit that is given to the wife of his the husband of his daughter, Kushner, Jerry Kushner, is the true brains behind it. And Trump, just continues to be the puppet. I mean, he was bought out a long time ago, if anyone knows the history of how he's been in the back pocket of Jewish interests ever since he went bankrupt in New York. But yeah, so they've accomplished a lot. They're riding high right now. And really, it's like, obviously, they can't be touched. They don't think that any harm can come from the release of these recent files, other than for maybe the hammer to fall on um, those already picked out to take the fall. Yeah, like Prince Andrew, for one. And there would probably be a few others. It seems like maybe some exciting ones.
What if I give you one conspiracy theory that
Yeah.
lately Trump was threatened and blackmailed with releasing the Epstein files if he does not begin the war with Iran. So what I have heard, he was in last few weeks. He was threatened that either you begin the war, like the entire country, you take down the dictatorship that's recently at the power, or the files will be released. That's why just the half of the files were released so far. So, according to my conspiracy theory, what could be what could come next? So Trump now would need some other topic to cover the Epstein files, in which he's mostly present. So now, in my opinion, he should attack Iran, like severely make big fuss in this country to cover up. So the second part of the files will not be released. And who is in charge of releasing the files? Who would really who has interest in attacking the Iran? I'm I'm
Allegedly, there might be some small nation, you know.
What do
But
you think about such a conspiracy theory?
well, yeah, of course, many individuals can be blackmailed by these files. We all know that, and except I don't. I could see that being something plausible for sure, but I don't think Trump is that innocent. I know you don't think he's innocent either. But rather, it's just the kind of game they're playing, yeah, and the timing and the release of certain files coinciding with whatever is happening in the public view. But Americans are very much distracted right now with the ICE immigration crisis, another manufactured crisis, as we know that Trump has not even deported as many. There haven't been as many deportees as Obama. So people are really focused in on that. I think also, however, the attention is kind of being drawn away. I don't know if it's kind of fizzling out with the. I mean, I wish we had someone who is still more connected with the events happening in America right now, who might have. I mean, I follow a lot about what's going on there, but it seems like, at least what I'm getting, there's not someone close enough to the pulse of what's happening in my circle of media and friends to know just how the current political climate is going, the social climate, and but that is going to be the subject of another episode. Is just how the left views things going on in America right now. And we hope to have some future guests, very special guests, very incredible. Okay, not going to go there with my impersonation, but sorry, I didn't answer your question fully. But yeah, as I said, I don't really think it's the I don't think it follows.
Yeah.
But can you elaborate further on how this benefits, let's say, Israel, or let's say certain other power? Well, I mean, just it's just Israel. How they, how much more they can benefit by blackmailing Trump? Because, in my opinion, I don't see it. I just see that he is part of the game. He's part of the. He's one of the members that's holds a certain level of power, and there are certain people who hold a level of power over him. And yeah, again, with this establishment of the Board of Peace, he is the going to be the head of that for the rest of his life, whether he truly enjoys it or not. But considering what I have learned of his character over time, and
Okay,
yeah.
from my side, so Trump was voted by the people and supported by the people who are highly religious, and the Christian values are on the top of their let me say way of thinking. So if they are hearing that Trump was on the Epstein Island and was putting fingers into vaginas of some underage girls, very underage because 13 years old, it's highly repulsive. So I don't. For the Jews, it would be the top of the blackmail that they could have used, and the rest of the compromises in this very first part of the Epstein files, they were on the people who are not so active anymore in the politics. So Prince Andrew, or Bush Senior, who was eating humans meat. according to the file.
Allegedly.
Well, according to some interrogation, according to some memories of the victims, he was eating flesh of of the dead bodies. And maybe have you seen a video of the Spanish speaking women that got released herself from the island and started screaming, they are eating human flesh, they are eating human flesh. Have you seen the video?
Yeah, I did see that video, and of course, it's again one of those things that what is the timing of this release? Is it a distraction for people to get so invested in someone who we can't find out more information about? But I mean, that is truly tragic. That if this person is a real victim, and I believe it is. I believe she is. I think it's sincere, and it's not the first.
She disappeared the next day.
Right, right. She disappeared. Like I said, that doesn't solidify her as, it's like one of those things where, okay, how well does this hold up in court? Well, we don't know how real of a person she is unless we can find her, and that's of course playing to their advantage. Obviously, it's not the first time that these people who play off as elitists, who believe themselves to be elite, have been accused of cannibalism. This came in also, when Hillary Clinton was having her, during her run for presidency, was seen with certain side effects of cannibalism that had to be basically, I can't remember the name of the disease, but that had to be contained by medication, and that she didn't quite receive that medication at the time, and that's why she was having these weird seizures and not able to stand and was collapsing and at multiple times. And you remember this interview where she's like like with the lady in the interview, the reporter's just like,
that's how we know who was eating flesh.
Super creepy. Yeah. I would.
But
I would
if,
also
okay,
mention,
if I told you that the message from the Jews to the Trump was like, listen, old man, you have no chance for re-election. We have both sides, so Democrats and conservatives. So we don't really care. Either you begin this war right now, or we release the files. And I believe that it is what happens, because even Jews, they have compromised on Trump, on other politicians. But for example, like Prince Charles, Prince Andrew, or Bush Senior, those are the figures who are not existent in the politics anymore. So they can be completely compromised. It doesn't care. But about Trump, I don't really think that he's ever going to run for president anymore due to his medical conditions. But at least he could be. I don't know really, because Trump stood against one choice. Either he's beginning this war, but he has no justifications. Why am I attacking Iran right now? Why? Because he's a threat to Israel, but he's no threat to the U.S. Yes, so he had no reasons how to explain to our votership that I'm beginning the war. And on the other side, where was this country in the Palestine who was pushing him because they hate Iran. So they really wanted to make this war to eliminate the dictator in Iran with the hands of Americans and with the hands of Trump that he didn't want to comply with.
Well, I mean, again, I would disagree. I think it's very what's the word? Not naive, if that's what you're thinking, but I think it's too optimistic. To think that Trump is still working for the people, or I mean, is that to the level of what you're saying, that he's still like genuine? He's just a rich billionaire who's tied up with the wrong people.
I mean that Trump was filmed many times in some inconvenient situations, and that's why he was putting up so much to Israel, because Israel was also was always pulling his strings. He was a puppet, and he was a puppet for some reason. And I think that Epstein list, so Epstein files, was that such reason. So he was a puppet because Israel had so much strings on him, so much materials on him. That's why he was complying with he was obedient to everything that they were saying, and it is the only reason. And he was afraid that these files will be released, and so the Jews, who were keeping him on this one leash.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Of course, he has a lot of strings attached, like I said.
But he stood up to them, and he did not want to intervene in Iran. That was the reason.
Right. Well, you can. The thing is like we could both say that he stood up to them, and like, and then you're saying that he stood up to them. Yeah. I could say that it's all an act, right? And in this way, it's all in our words. However, if we just look at the Trump presidency, like his first term as president, and what's happening right now, he had, the biggest talk was like clearing the swamp of all these other people who we know have done terrible things and have done at least a lousy job as politicians, who are supposed to be working for the people, and did nothing to, he talked about throwing the Clintons in jail, which maybe it'll be something that happens now thanks to these release of the Epstein files. There are certain people who are going to take the fall, and it's just how useful are the Clintons? How high up are they to say? Just like with Jeffrey Epstein, it seems very likely, and I've said this from the beginning, that he didn't. At the very beginning, I think that they killed him. But then I realized, no, he probably got away to Israel, and he didn't die at all. And you mentioned something that is very important, is also Trump's health. And one of the things that has been rumored about in
that he has 4 months to live, yeah?
No, I haven't heard that actually. But that he does have a catheter attached to his leg that they've worked really hard to conceal. But just like Michael Obama, he can only keep a secret like that hidden for so long. They try. But the reason why he has this catheter and why he's had other problems, rumored problems such as having to wear a diaper because he can't control quite his bowels very well, due to a very serious injury that occurred to him, not on Jeffrey's Island, but rather during the 1980s, and taking part in certain trafficking activities, activities involving trafficked members of society. And I would recommend to everyone right now, anytime you have time in the future, check out the interview with a trafficking survivor, William Sasha Riley. And I will put a link to the interview below in the show notes. And please do take a moment to listen. It's just an hour. It does go on longer, but really just the first part of the interview is the only thing that you really need to listen to. The rest is kind of repetitive or getting very fine details for documentation. But the first hour really spells out just how evil these people who call themselves the elite are. And including Donald Trump and what might have happened to him that caused these kind of health problems that he has today.
Trump was once asked about half a year ago at the beginning of his presidency, what has happened to around 130,000 children that were smuggled into U.S. For
right,
some.
What happened to all these children that they saved from the? Remember in the first term presidency, they talked nonstop about the children that they were saving from the underground tunnels, and then there's like nothing to show to that. They just kept saying, "We're saving the children. We're saving the children." Where are these children? And why isn't there any follow up on that? Why isn't there more? Why wasn't there more revealed during the first term of his presidency about these supposed trafficked children? Which I mean, to say supposed trafficked children, I mean the ones that they supposedly saved. Not yeah. Oh, where are you going? Ah. He's got to get his tea gone here. All right. So, and welcome back. So, yeah, they talked nonstop about, well, these children that they had supposedly saved from the, I don't know, the evil Democrats or something like this, that the Democrats were hiding. Where did this whole plot thread go? It just disappeared. Along with these.
Trump responded to this question. He said that these children, 130,000 children, are probably already dead.
Right. So, oh, okay. So maybe the children they didn't save them. They're just dead. No, I'm sorry. That's bad humor of me. But you know, it's just an excuse, really, not to reveal, not to follow up, perhaps these children that they were talking about, that they were saving from the underground. And the incredible thing is just, you know, talking about the underground.
Underground of the New York building where the Jews were having their. You probably have seen this footage. The Jews coming out of the channels.
Oh, remember? I mean, wow! What a way to start off 2005. I mean, 2025. 2005. How did that slip in there? In 2025.
Just a joke, but everyone remembers this footage.
Everyone cannot forget about the people under the streets of New York City and the amazing thing that happened around the New Year. But no, of course, I'm talking about the huge network of underground tunnel systems all throughout the United States, probably all throughout Europe as well. I mean, we've been digging and digging and digging for decades. But it's no secret. Any American trucker will tell you that there's a massive underground transportation system. A lot of it is to service the purposes, the needs of military and government. Also, you know, for transportation purposes and safe, confidential transportation purposes without having to deal with, you know, flight logs and things like that. Can just transport it underground.
Did you see the footage of the children in Epstein files? I saw that these two children mostly were speaking Turkish. So they were probably imported from Turkey or maybe from Syria.
They get them from literally all over the planet. They have, you know, of course, code words for them. You know, we might be familiar with pizza. I think there's also cheese pizza, grape soda. I can guess what race that is. Chinese fortune cookie. Well, you can guess where that one is also from, or was it just fortune cookie? Maybe it wasn't so much on the nose. That fortune cookie was so good last night, Mr. Epstein. Thank you. Yeah.
What has mostly shocked you in this whole scandal?
Really, it was the interview with William Sasha Riley. But you know, going back to. Was it? I think it was still the first term of Trump, maybe a little bit earlier, the Pizzagate scandal, and how that all ties in, and you know, like people like the Podesta brothers and Hillary Clinton being tied into this ring, and just how sick and evil these people are. And unfortunately, this isn't something that's totally new. It's not like we are basically existing in the most probably one of the most evil times in history, despite the kind of lack of open barbarity. You know, because back in the old times, we could fight against it. We have no problem taking up arms, right? But our arms have been taken away from us. But in the
I can tell you what was most shocking for me, that on this Epstein list there was no Joe Biden. I was 100% sure that he's a pedo. That he's a pedo, but he does not appear anywhere in this list. Just have a look at the video, how he's sniffing the or kissing the
Well, and
the children.
I've seen videos of Joe, with the kids, and as well as pictures. I don't know if anyone else, just going on along with his son. He might be more of a Bohemian Grove. I mean, this is the thing too. Is just like when talking about Trump. They have their different factions. They're not all united as one. I mean, they have common goals. They have sworn allegiances. They have oaths to fulfill. But they do have various agendas, and different layers up the pyramid. Um, Joe Biden and people like that might only be associated with the Bohemian Grove type, and the Bidens certainly have deep ties. But that reminds me also about the Bushes. What I was going to say, reflecting on something that George Bush Sr. had said on public record, by the way, that if they ever figured out what we were doing, they'd hang us in the streets. And he was also one of the presidents. He wasn't, Trump talking about the New World Order or the globalists. He wasn't the first. He wasn't the first to use MAGA either. That was actually Ronald Reagan with the "Make America Great Again." But anyway, George Bush, the Bush family, having deep ties, long deep ties, with Freemasons, with Skull and Bone Society. Sorry, not the Freemasons. I don't think they're actually Masons. See, it's just another sect, another organization. Gosh, oh no, I got lost on the tangent where I was going to go with the Bushes here. But maybe we can reel this back in if you have something else to add relating to the Epstein case. About who was there, who's not there.
I also found a funny story. A few years back, I've seen an interview with the ex-wife of Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, and she was explaining that the main reason that she got divorced to Bill was his presence on the Epstein list, and we now know what has happened. So he got.
Was this was that when when Epstein first was arrested, or because they divorced some time ago?
No, it's funnier. It's funnier.
Or did she just say that recently? That was part of the reason why they got divorced?
This interview was like 3 years ago published.
Okay.
But you know what was the final reason, yeah?
Yeah, no, but tell everybody.
Yeah,
about
the
it.
point is that he got infected with some venereal disease that he got from some Russian hookers. I hope that not underaged, who was adult, hopefully, and he also infected his wife. And first, he wanted to get some antibiotics from Epstein for this disease, and he wanted to put these antibiotics secretly into the food of his wife, so he doesn't I don't know get serious consequences of this disease. Oh my god, it was so funny for me. But okay, it's the last funny thing in these files at all. But the disaster was, I've seen the footage of Epstein and of the other dudes with real little child, like with small I don't know, small legs, small hands, and all of the things that could be happening. And a shocking thing for me was year 2012 and emails from Elon Musk that okay, I'm leaving my kids at home, my wife at home, and I would like to join the wildest party. And what Dale is the wildest party
this
on
was
your?
shocking. Yeah, this was
It was shocking, but it means that these parties were known for like wild, good entertainment, and everyone wanted to be on these parties. Not that people were forced to be there, because very often I have also seen a book with I've read a book with.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing with the Diddy parties. I mean, it's the same exact premise. Well, the Diddy party, everyone wants to be there. It's the most amazing party you're gonna have. You can't miss a Diddy
You can
party.
miss, but also that people on these parties, like the bodies that were injured, they were under some satanistic practices, like they were stabbed in the foot, and fuck, I don't.
Well, we're kind of jumping around here. You're saying
Yeah.
about how exciting it was and how not everyone
So
had to be forced to be there, and
what I
then
what I
then yeah,
meant.
the satanic practices, very real satanic practices.
Mm,
But let's go back. So you were
yeah,
saying that because Elon, he
every
couldn't go.
celebrity wanted to be on this party, so it
Yeah,
means
yeah.
that it was not sick at all. Like there were like few kind of these parties, and maybe some of these parties were like extremely sick with the satanistic practices and so on, and some of them were like for the elites with many of girls, not maybe adult girls, not even underage, but they were so famous that everyone wanted to be there. But I also many emails were released. There was email from one Polish guy who has.
What was that?
Have you seen this email?
Yes,
Who
yes,
has
I heard about this. Yeah.
called Epstein a pedophile, and he said, "You sick fuck, stay away from me."
Oh
But
wait, no, I didn't get to see this one. Really? No, I missed it.
there was one Polish guy.
Actually, it was about the Polish model. Sorry.
Yeah, Polish model who agreed to be one of the models on the.
Sorry, but that's a separate story. Continue with yours. So we don't
Yeah, there was
forget.
just like two Polish mentioning. One was guy who told Epstein to fuck off because he's a pedo, and second was a girl who was eager to take part in his wild parties, and also.
She's left no comment. She hasn't answered about her participation there yet. I hope she's deeply ashamed, and I hope the world just collapses in around her, depending on what she was involved in and why she won't talk. For one thing, I mean, Elon. Again, I think you're probably giving Elon the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Elon deserves the benefit of the doubt. Okay, let's say he was just a big on partying, but again, you see the kind of things that Elon is involved with. You see what kind of electronic surveillance world he wants to build, and he claims he's trying to build this image that he's some kind of savior figure. A lot of people just jump on board that Elon, he's one of the good billionaires. He has his own money to back himself up. He doesn't need he doesn't. It was just this whole same delusion with Trump that he's this billionaire businessman. He doesn't need these corrupt individuals to back him up. But look at what they're doing. Look at what Elon's doing. It's not good. It's not helping society. It's all under this. If you really want to believe that Jared Kushner and Trump built this new Gaza Strip for the benefit of the Gazans. It's just they're just going forward with complete enslavement now. It's just like they're there. I mean, I'm going off on a tangent here, but it's just like if you really believe that they're just building this paradise for the people of Gaza now, I mean, you've completely lost the plot. And if you believe,
I just ask you one question. Have you seen an email that Epstein has written to the CEO of Rothschild Group?
I did see it, but I haven't read it yet.
He has written that when the war has started in Ukraine 2014, he has written to the CEO of Rothschild Group, of BlackRock also. Look what is happening in Ukraine. It's a land of opportunities from now on. And she responded, yeah, let's talk about Ukraine. It's a place where we should put our closer focus on.
Yeah, I think I read part of it that was they discussed overthrowing the current
The Yanukovych.
president at that time. Yeah, and I mean, wow, there's so much really to. If we were to talk about Ukraine, it's just like you had another Rothschild. I can't remember his name, talking just bragging about how they were going to turn Zelensky into a hero. In spite of nationalist outcries, in spite of right-wing outcries, he was directly. It was directly an answer to us. saying, "Ha ha ha, we're going to turn Zelensky into a hero," and nothing you can do about it. And so far he's right, unfortunately. And we're living. One of the things I wanted to mention is just like this whole, uh, we just to speak for a moment, the very seriousness of this. We try to laugh and we try. It's just like the quote. I don't know who it's from, but it's just like I laughed in order not to cry. Um, the total seriousness of this. We talk about how, well, I hope these prostitutes were grown adults so children wouldn't have to suffer such terrible things. And it's just the bottom line is there are so many thousands, tens of thousands, maybe more, could be in the hundreds of thousands of children that they have kidnapped, tortured, harvested, and in ways that the public is not prepared to perhaps even comprehend just how sick and evil these people are. Utterly satanic. Utterly satanic. I mean, when you see the kind of practices, when you look at what these people practice and believe, they say that they're Christian, or they say that they're, well, I mean, we're in the Western world, so by and large, they say that they're Christian or Jewish, whatever that means exactly. But they certainly practice a lot of satanic ritual, not only behind closed doors, but a lot of stuff is out in the open that people really just kind of miss and don't understand. And the thing that I was going to say is just like we're living in the Justinian period, and if you ever were to look at some of the history of the Justinian era, Emperor Justin who inherited the, if I can put the time period right, who inherited the, it's after the downfall of Rome, and I think after the Byzantine Empire, or a period in between. And during those times, there was a lot of rumors and potential maybe confirmation of underground torture facilities. And so this is nothing new, and it shouldn't be anything beyond the imagination of commoners such as ourselves that they are taking and torturing people and very much potentially eating them, as that has been a long time ongoing rumor. If not eating them, certainly can confirm the use of adrenochrome, which is most often harvested from children. That's the most potent psychedelic drug, and it's most potent from children. I can't remember why, because maybe the concentration of the adrenaline in the adrenal glands or something. I wouldn't be able to explain the science on this, but there's even a company called Adrenochrome. It's out in the open, people, and they're doing this actively. They're doing this actively, and for Trump to really, I'm going to need to see the clip of this to basically put dismissively that these 130,000 children are dead. We should have a military involved in this extensively. We should have there should be people in the streets protesting, not this ICE. ICE is that was another thing I meant to mention, is just like the whole ICE distraction. I mean, I did talk about it, but how much of a smokescreen that is from what people should actually be protesting, which is basically what's coming out in the Epstein files, and holding these people accountable and finding out the true evil that is going on. And sorry, that was a long kind of religious.
I just wanted to ask you: do you think if these people will ever be held accountable, if they will confront the justice?
I think so. Yeah. most of them, well, I mean, most of them have been able to die peacefully, sadly. But I think there's a lot of momentum. And you see, just like, I hate to use this as a point of reference, but just to use some pop culture to make the point clear is just like in Star Wars when Princess Leia is confronting Emperor Tarkin and she uses the line, the tighter you grip the tighter you make your grip, the more systems slip through your fingers. And it's kind of the same effect of what is taking place right now. Here we have uh, a lot of the people who are in power now basically are part of the same machine. Um, they have the same agenda, so they're working very hard to push through and rush. Things are moving at a very rapid pace now because basically you have the same, like I said, the same people the people who are members of the same club, who have the same goals, moving towards those goals. And I do think that they will be punished. I'm not sure when. Maybe in 20 years. It's hard to say. Maybe in a few years there will be enough of an awakening and call to action. And you see right now, it's just like thinking about the momentum that they're using to overthrow the dictator of Iran. I can't. The Ayatollah. I don't remember his name. Um, this, of course, works very much in the works very well in favor of Israel, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure they're trying to be very careful not to miscalculate that once, because the Iranian people are still very intelligent. They're not stupid. They're very much aware of how the original Shah was put into place by the United States, and how he basically refused to play the game, like Gaddafi, like Iraq.
Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein. But wait. Let me just finish this point. They're very much aware of this. So if the Iranian people are able to capture this energy and ride the wave, get rid of the Ayatollah, but in the same sense not let Western influence take over their country, they could be onto something good. But it's going to be really hard because it's going to be a lot of chaos after the loss of the Ayatollah. Could be civil war. But it's yet to be seen what exactly will happen if the Ayatollah would die.
War is actually the chaos is actually a goal of this overthrowing the dictator.
Right. The chaos is what they want. So utilize this energy that they're pushing forward. I mean, if we could they talk a lot about civil war in the United States. That's also what they're using, this ICE thing. Oh, it's going to bring about civil war. Frankly, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that there's enough motivation. Excuse me, the Matrix is calling. Enough motivation on either side to really have a civil war. I mean, there's a lot of vocal people who are just like, I want to kill you. But really, it's just not there. However, there could be a balkanization. I mean, there's a hint.
Division, you mind? Division of Iran.
No, I'm sorry, a balkanization of the United States.
Okay.
That has been talked about for decades. That analysts have predicted for a long time. And it'll probably start with Texas, is what they've been hinting at esoterically and in films and movies. I mean, just like recently, this Civil War movie that for some reason Texas would break off from the Union and ally with California doesn't make any sense. You need to look at the subtext of the matter and also these other, you have to search esoterically. There was something called I Pet Goat. Did you ever see it? Well, for some reason, people were guessing, and if you watch I Pet Goat 1 and 2, is it's meant to tell in an esoteric way what's going to happen in the future, and it's supposed to be one of these insiders, kind of leaking information in a coded way. And one of the things you see is kind of the torn American flag, and there's this piece that flies away and looks suspiciously just like the flag of Texas, and it's because it's just one star. It's the red, white, and blue, but it's it's the blue, the stars in the white star in the blue, and then the red and white stripe, and so they want the United States to balkanize because obviously they can't keep control of the masses, and it'll be a lot easier to subdue the masses if we have a balkanized country, and the people will. Well, there's too much for me to say. Really, I would have to have some esoteric druid sitting in between us to really elaborate further on what that could be. All right, yeah. So to wrap things up, guys, thanks so much for listening, and please like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next episode of Allegedly.
Bye.